How do you keep your house clean when nothing works? When you've tried everything and are deeply overwhelmed? Standard cleaning advice tells you to just put things away or stop being lazy. This advice is useless for an overwhelmed mind. It wrongly assumes your main problem is a lack of discipline or stubbornness. In reality, you might just lack the energy and emotional regulation to handle the job. The philosopher Isaiah Berlin divided thinkers into foxes and hedgehogs, and he used a famous Greek saying to do this. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. The fox understands many complex things, while the hedgehog organizes everything around one central vision. When tackling a messy home, you first need the multifaceted understanding of the fox. A fox refuses to call a messy room laziness. It sees the complicated system that caused it. It recognizes you might be fighting depression, burnout, or a mood disorder. Crushing fatigue drains your energy and makes simple choices impossible. This fox-like view is incredibly kind. It stops blaming you for a nervous system that is just trying to survive. However, this self-awareness can very easily become a trap. A fox-like diagnosis can quickly cause a unique kind of paralysis. Once you understand the complex reasons you are stuck, you feel validated, but also buried. You ask yourself impossible questions about trauma or mental health. Suddenly, the deep explanation for your mess becomes as overwhelming as the room itself. You sit analyzing your pain while the laundry piles up. This is exactly where the hedgehog becomes important. The hedgehog does not ignore your complicated pain. Instead, it gives you one simple rule to follow through the chaos. The fox explains why you are stuck, but the hedgehog gives you the tool to get moving. The hedgehog's solution for an exhausted brain is simple. It is to make your house ask fewer decisions of you. That's it. You don't need to become perfectly disciplined. You don't need to create a flawless home. You only need to understand a few important things you may already know, and then take action based on that. You must understand that every object in a cluttered room demands an answer about its future, that a stack of mail is exhausting because it's a pile of postponed choices, that you can only clean when you stop treating objects like profound philosophical dilemmas. But how do you put this understanding to work? How do you make your house ask fewer decisions of you? You do that by bypassing the exhausted executive functions of your brain. In psychology, executive functions are simply the cognitive skills that let you plan things out. So instead of trying to clean everything, you create default destinations. You move objects into 5 simple categories. These are trash, laundry, dishes, paper, and things that belong elsewhere. Choosing a broad destination is infinitely easier for an exhausted brain than making a final decision. Next, you focus on closing small loops. A 3-hour session is too abstract and demanding for someone with low emotional bandwidth. So you stop doing cleaning marathons. A loop has a clear beginning and end. So you do loops. That means you shrink the goal until it is survivable. You take the cups to the sink, you open 5 envelopes. You are simply giving your brain a tiny moment of visual quiet. You also stop using guilt as motivation for your cleaning. That almost always backfires. Threats to our autonomy trigger psychological reactance. This hardwired resistance causes you to freeze and procrastinate. So to build true motivation, you start feeling in charge of your own actions. You start offering yourself choices instead of harsh commands. Finally, you never aim for a sterile room. You don't strip your room of everything that represents you or your creativity. You simply separate your active personality, your creative mess, from your abandoned, paralyzing mess. You give your creative projects a designated boundary. An overloaded brain cannot handle endless explanations. So you let one simple idea organize your solutions. You design a home that asks fewer questions. That works much better than just trying harder. Tell me in the comments, are you thinking like the fox right now or the hedgehog?